starting lineups. First for CCNY. An outside hitter from Queens, number 2, Jeffrey Summers. An outside hitter from Singapore, number 8, Football Jack. And middle blocker from Astoria, number 9, Aul Sharma. And middle blocker from Saudi Arabia, number 11, Mohamed Al-Ashri. And middle blocker from Ozol Park, number 13, Tenzin Zena. And a right side hitter from Albania, number 17, Julio Neftari. Beavers head coach is Andriana Todorovic, and the assistant coach is Bob Ford, Leanna Fan, and Rachel Ramirez. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineup for your Baruch College Bearcats. An outside hitter from Fairlawn, New Jersey, number 5, Jack Centeno. At center from Jackson Heights, New York, number 8, Stallone Shankar. At middle hitter from Valley Street, New York, number 11, Michael Higgins. At opposite from Brooklyn, New York, number 12, Defeng Ha. Outside hitter from China, number 14, Dennis Hu. Middle hitter from St. Albans, New York, number 23, Akil Vaughn. And the Bearcats Libero from Holbrook, New York, number 6, Travis Gooding. Head coach of Baruch, Kevin Edwards, the assistant coach, Hamden Lee, and Aaron Udo. Now let's play ball.
Thursday night, Arc Arena. No place I'd rather be, Gia, as we're here tonight for the CUNYAC Semifinals. The first time the CUNYAC tournament has been held like this, with the semifinals on a different night than the finals, but the boys are buzzing, and we're happy to be here to watch the Baruch Bearcats take on the Beavers of the City College of New York, coming down from the Upper West Side down here to scenic Lexington Ave to have a good Division III men's volleyball matchup. What are you expecting to see tonight, Gia?
Well, we both have some really good teams this conference, so Baruch has brought it all this season with the conference games. The only game I believe they've lost is the last game against Hunter. So this is really going to be an interesting game here against CCNY because it will determine who will go to the next round.
And as we're bringing the intro in there, it looks like a ball just a little bit out by Han Defeng as the Baruch right side couldn't exactly get that ball in the court. A lot of history between these two teams, and the preseason player of the year for the Bearcats, number 8, Stallone Shankar, going up with the player of the year for CCNY, Julio Maftari out of Albania. Ooh, and Han Defeng goes high off hands, dug by Maftari. Quick back set. And that ball's out of bounds. Looked like Julio didn't really like the ball there, was trying to go over hands, but just missed it.
We have number 11 from Valley Stream, Michael Higgins, at the service line for the Baruch Bearcats. So far this season, he has a nice service runs and an extremely nice set of blocks. And he goes middle row to the libero on CCNY.
Kept alive by CCNY. A set not to Maftari. You won't see that very often tonight. Expect Julio to take about 99% of the swings. He's the conference player of the year.
And a nice kill for number 17.
Oh yeah, that courtesy of our Albanian nationals. Thank you for that kill, Julio. Real great volleyball player, was, I believe, the CUNYAC MVP the most recent full season in 2019, and is once again the CUNYAC MVP. Defended his title 3 years later in 2022.
And now we have number 8, Upal Chand, at the service line for CCNY, and a nice dig by Centeno, and a nice tap over by Akil Vaughn.
Oh, we call that a campfire. Everyone's sitting around warming their hands, watching the ball fall in the center of the court like a little campfire. Get out your marshmallows to roast.
Number 12, Defeng Han, freshman from Brooklyn, New York, at the service line for the Bearcats.
Yeah. Filling the big shoes of the Russian Rocket, Artem Zinkin, the Baruch's former right side before Han Defeng. Big shoes to fill, but he's doing it all right with an ace. I wonder if the Russian Rocket, Artem Zinkin, taught him that serve. DeFang Han back at the line.
Nice high swing on that one to CCNY's libero.
Oh, ball goes in the divider. Free ball sent over to the Bearcats. Set out to Dennis Hugh. Tip handled by CCNY. Swung back onto the Bearcat side. Kept alive by the Cats. Back row attack for Centeno. And Centeno detonates the pipe attack. Thank you. He learned that swing growing up playing for the Fairlawn Cutters, and he's just applying it right now to the Bearcats as the Cats take an early 4-2 lead over the Beavers.
Han back at the service line for the Bearcats.
And another ace.
Inside. That was a hard one to determine for CCNY, and even if they did determine it, they had nobody there to recover that ball. That was a nice serve.
And that's a CCNY timeout. They're going to talk it over. We'll be back in a minute.
And welcome back from the little short break we had. CCNY took a timeout in the first set, and now we have DeFang Han back at the service line for the Baruch Bearcats with a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, the biggest lead of the match thus far. As the Bearcats lead 5-2, trying to keep the service run alive. Sorry, I caught my words there. Oh, it looks like a couple tough balls.
Nice block by Baruch's blockers, Vaughn and Hu.
Oh, and I think that might have been a violation because the libero hand passed the ball into a dump. I think that should be a back row attack, but it looks like Bearcat point anyway. When the libero takes a ball with their hands in front of the 10-foot line, the next player cannot attack that ball over the net. It's an odd little quirk worked into the rule of being a libero in the men's game for volleyball. It might apply to the women's game as well. So Bearcat point, not going to be too disappointed about that, but I would like to see that get called dead a little bit earlier. Another good run by DeFang Han. Set to Moftari.
That will be CCNY's point.
Yeah, he won't make many mistakes up there on the right side. It's a conference player of the year. Expect him to get a lot of swings and a lot of kills, quite frankly.
If CCNY wants to win this set, they're going to have to pick it up a little bit before the lead gets too big. And that goes to Goding. Our libero, Shankar, sets it up for Hu, and a CCNY block to block that one from Hu. And there'll be CCNY's point.
Ooh, and that was a double call. Looks like we're calling the doubles pretty tight tonight, so let's hope that's the same way the whole way through. CCNY point. As the Bearcats' lead is now cut to 2, behind some strong serving from Tenzin Setback, the middle blocker from Ozone Park, New York.
And he goes to Goding, middle row. Goding sets it up for Shankar. Shankar sets it up for Vaughn, and Vaughn goes middle row with a nice tap. And CCNY fumbles that one back over the net. Shankar sets up Vaughn again. He goes back row to Tezpak. Nice dunk by Shankar.
Oh, great rally. Everyone's keeping the ball up. Oh, and that
nice
Bearcat block by Akil Vaughn.
That was some nice volley on both sides.
And you can kind of hear the Bearcat bench a little confused there. Previous ball was called a double for the Bearcats. It didn't spin very much. It looks like the Cats wanted a double called them off Tari there. But, you know, when you're disappointed with the call, G, you know what the best thing to do is go on and get that point anyway. That's what the Bearcats did. They thought they deserved a call, but proved it by getting the block.
Exactly. Just like in softball,
Yeah.
you make an error, then you just forget about it and focus on the next pitch.
And give the CCNY a serve receive there and assist if they set up Akil Vaughn for the beautiful kill on the overpass there. Bearcats extend their lead to 8-4 on some strong serving at the line by number 1, Wen Chung.
Blocked by Centeno and Vaughn. And that's out of bounds on CCNY. The point will go to the Bearcats at a 9-4 lead.
And another timeout by the Beavers. Bearcats lead, the biggest lead of the set, 9-4. Will be
right back. And we're back from break number 2, still in the first set. It will be Bearcats ball at number 1, Wing Chung, freshman from Brooklyn, New York, at the service line, and that will be a server's error for Chung as it went right into the net.
These teams face each other a lot during the regular season, especially as the CUNYAC has come back post-COVID. So the teams have a lot of tape on each other, and you have to think that the Bearcats' plan coming into this was to camp out on the Moftari swing, put up a big block early against them to try and seal it off, which they've been doing to this point, and then also picking on the defense of the Beavers on the middle attacks with finding that center in the court.
That was a nice play for CCNY. Nicest play thus far.
Oh, yeah, it looks like CCNY got that point. Looks like Centeno went for a swing off the hands and just missed it there. And Moftari watched that ball with a little matrix move go out of bounds to his right. One of the harder servers in the conference. Moftari sends a rocket, but handled by Goding. Set to Vaughn, and absolutely detonated out of the middle.
Nice kill by Vaughn. Vaughn's been having a nice set of kills this season.
And we'd like to thank our academic colleagues and athletic peers over at York College for their fine export. Akil Vaughn, he's been a very welcome addition to the Baruch men's volleyball this team. An all-around athlete, 3-sport athlete at York College, was very successful on their volleyball and basketball team.
Nice save by Chung, and a nice carryover by Shankar.
D-ball to Moftari. Ooh, and just through the hands.
That was just on the line. That would have been an easy one to miss for Baruch Bearcats. Very hard one to determine.
Look for that sequence to happen a lot tonight as Moftari's the go-to guy for the Beavers. They're going to look at him at any long rally to help them give them an answer to the Bearcat block.
We got number 9, Rahul Sharma, outside hitter, middle blocker, freshman from Astoria, New York, at the service line. And there the ball goes up into the Raptors.
Might have been a Beaver in the net there on the block, but tough to see. Ball kept alive. Swing by Centeno. Handled by the Beaver defense. High ball to their outside hitter. Rolled. Handled by the Baruch right side. One ball to Higgins. D-ball to Moftari. Ooh, and just off of the Baruch Bearcats block with the tool. And off a couple strong Moftari D-balls, the Beavers have clawed back, tailed their way back to a 8-10 score.
Yes,
they're now only down by 2.
It is a close game this set. Let's see if the Beavers can keep it up.
Back to Higgins.
Nice block by number 8 and 11 on CCNY Beavers. The point will go back to CCNY to number 9 at the server's line.
Yeah, it looks like Higgins didn't quite see the double in front of him there. When there's 2 blockers camped out on his middle, that opens up a really sharp angle to tip the ball. And that ball is out by about a mile. I don't know what the CCNY bench thought they saw there. That ball could not have been closer to being more out.
They were a little mistaken, Jacob.
Yeah. Tough to serve a ball more out than that, but it was, and it's a Bearcat point.
I mean, it almost hit.
It almost hit the benches. But Shankar at the line. Ooh, and just missed the line there.
That's
back-to-back errors.
That will definitely be something to cheer for the Beavers.
Yeah, you know, the way the serving game has evolved in volleyball, it's very much turned into a thing, Gio, where you kind of have to go for the ace or nothing on your serve, and that leads to a lot of errors. But there's this mentality that it's better to make an error going aggressive than to give someone a nice little lollipop free ball serve.
And I've noticed throughout the season that the serve sets the tone for the rest of the plays.
Ooh, and we do have some bright lights in the gym. Looks like the CCNY hitter has lost that ball on the light. It's a very tough swing to track a ball down over your hitting shoulder from behind you and then hit that at the opposite angle in front of you. And looks like the Beaver attack couldn't quite do it there, lost it. Bearcat point.
We have number 5, Jack Centeno at the service line for the Bearcats, who's had a nice run of serves, and he goes middle row to Sharma.
Ooh, a Bearcat block there. Dennis Hu was camped out on the CCNY setter. Jeffrey Sellis did not hide very well that he was going to try and put that ball over on 2 there, dropped his right shoulder, told everyone he was bringing the ball over the net. Dennis said, "Thank you very much, I'm taking that." Bearcat point.
Centeno will go again at the service line. Nice high swing, but unfortunately that one went right into the net via server's error for Centeno. And the ball will be sent back to number 2, Jeffrey Sellis, freshman from Queens, New York.
And then if you're the Beavers here, Gia, you want to keep this serve because you have your best hitter in the front row, Muftari. You want to be in this rotation as long as possible. Let's see what happens.
And that goes to Goding, back row. Shankar sets it up for Han. Goding sets it up for Han once again.
Handled by Han Defang.
And that one goes right to Jacob in the broadcasting booth.
Well, that's a dig for the broadcasting bench there as I handled that ball off the Beaver defense with the strong swing by Dennis Hu, the freshman hitter from Guangdong, China. Very happy to have him on the team and him at Baruch College. And speaking of who else we're happy to have on the team, a big leader, Michael Higgins at the service line.
He goes middle row to the libero.
Right side set. Surprising. I thought they were going to bring that ball outside to Muftari there. And the Bearcat kill.
Muftari tried to save that one, but that would have been a really impossible one to get out of bounds back into the court.
You know, Honda Fang fills the big shoes of a long line of very talented Baruch right side, starting with Jack McKee, Brady Ambro, Stephen Roach, Artem Zink, and the Russian Rocket. There's a long list of talented right sides who have come through the Bearcat program.
And that was an amazing, strong swing by Muftari.
Wow. Julio Muftari reestablishing himself as a conference player of the year with that swing. Taking the air out of the ball, swinging above the block, and still putting a dent in the floor.
Definitely reminding the Bearcats that this game is not over and they're still in it to win it. So let's see with number 8 up at the service line for CCNY Beavers, and he will go to Centeno, and Shankar is unable to relieve that ball.
Looked like a little miscommunication there in the Bearcat defense of whose seam that was. Kind of caught them a little too high. Ace for the Beavers.
It's a close game here in the first set with a 15-13 lead for the Bearcats. And he will go back row to Goding, then to Shankar. Shankar sets up Vaughn, and a nice kill by Vaughn back row.
And the Beavers have struggled to give an answer to Akil Vaughn. Whether he's swinging or tipping, it seems like everything he's touching is hitting the floor tonight. Let's see if the Beavers can make an adjustment to slow that down, but between us, I hope they don't.
I mean, we can only hope, Jacob.
Defang Han back at the line with Shankar in the front row. Bearcats seem to be running a 5-1 offense at this point in the match. Ooh, and just about a ball's length out of bounds.
Number 13, Tenzin Tesbek, middle blocker, freshman from Ozone Park at the service line.
Really important to keep this serve in here as it's the last rotation where Muftari is front row.
He goes to Goading, back row. Shankar sets it up for Centeno, and a nice tip over the net by Centeno.
Yeah, snuck that ball through. Ooh, and Muftari with the strong right side swing.
Yeah, it seems like the Bearcats are unsure of how to recover those swings from Muftari, and they're going to have to figure it out if they want to keep it up throughout the rest of the set.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Edwards is trying to make a slight defensive adjustment there, telling his players to get back a bit, saying that with how big of a block we have in front of him, even though he's a hard hitter, he can't put the ball through the block. So to get farther back in the court where he's having the success with these deep, strong swings and try and take away those angles.
That hard swing wasn't by Muftari, but it was by Raul Sharma as he went back row and went off out of bounds off Baruch's hands.
The game is now tied up at 16-16 with Tenzin at the line. Short float serve, handled by the Bearcats. Outside ball to Hu. Ooh, and Hu
Nice
right through the
kill.
big block of Muftari. Just what the Bearcats needed.
We got some sub-ins. Chung in for Hu. And Chung will take it back to the service line once again for the Bearcats.
Bearcats pulled ahead, 17-16.
He goes middle row to libero, and Selish tries to set that one over the net.
I disagree with that call. The setter sent that ball over the net. I guess they're saying that the setter was back row, but it looked like he was attacking the ball over the net there. Disagree with the call a bit, but a big serve now for the Beavers with Muftari at the line. One of the hardest servers in the league.
And he goes to Goading, and the ball goes into the Raptors, and it's still
Bounces
there.
around a bit. Again,
Centeno
handled by
gets it
Centeno.
over.
Probably going to be a D-ball here to Muftari. Oh, outside ball.
Nice block.
Blocked by Shankar, kept alive.
Nice
Ooh,
kill.
Centeno with the kill.
That was a nice setup by Shankar and Centeno. Nicely played out with the 18-17 lead.
Thank you. Great swing by Centeno with Vaughn at the line there. Bearcats up 18-17. Muftari's in the back row. They're probably going to look for him on a D-ball.
Nice tip over the net by Vaughn with that serve. And they recovered the swing by Muftari.
Oh, and Higgins detonates it.
They finally figured it out, Jacob. They finally figured out that swing, which they really needed to figure out, which was vital.
That's that adjustment we were talking about that Coach Edwards makes, establishing himself always one of the best coaches in the CUNYAC, seeing that Muftari is going for a nice, hard, deep swing that's normally very tough to defend, but pulling the Bearcat defense back to get those angles picked up. Watch this ball probably going back to Muftari again. Handled by Vaughn into the ceiling. Looks like some confusion of where it's going. Bumps it to Centeno, kept in. D-ball back to Muftari. Rolled, kept alive. Higgins. Higgins with the kill.
That was off number 8. Udapal Chan's hands went out of bounds.
And you saw the Bearcats block there. They saw that Muftari didn't exactly have his power approach there, so let's drop off the net and set up our defense, which is exactly what they did. Good scouting and good execution by the Bearcats.
That'll be a server's error for Akil Vaughn as that one went right into the net. Not enough power behind that swing.
Yeah, it was a tough serve there, but, Vaughn got us a nice little lead there, so I'm Coach Edwards. I'm saying, hey, way to get us a couple there. Wish we had that one serve back, but don't hold your head down. We need you to be on and ready if you're coming back in this set.
Sharma at the service
Standing
line.
float serve to the Bearcats. Combination ball to Centeno, and he detonates the 2-ball for a kill. That ball was in by about a foot. I'm not sure what the CCNY bench was seeing there. I would love to watch the game they're watching from the CCNY bench, Gia, but
I feel like they might think
maybe
it
the
looks
angles are different there. The line of sight's different, but that ball looked pretty clearly into us from the announcing booth.
Yes, sir.
Now Shankar's back at the line. Bearcats lead 21-18.
Nice swing to the libero.
Ooh, and that's a double and a block. We'll give it to the team anyway. It's 2 points. And Coach Edwards is asking the rest if they get 2 points because it was a double touch and a block. If I was a statistician, I'd give the Bearcats 2 points. But unfortunately, there's no money ball in volleyball. You can only get 1 point at a time.
Shankar, let's see where he goes with this one as he tips it over the net, middle row, and they were unable
Oh,
to recover.
and Shankar with the ace.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of miscommunication on
There's
Beavers' end.
something about Baruch setters being great servers with the initials SS. Before Stallone Shankar was Scott Standring out of California, and now Stallone Shankar out of New York being a strong serving setter for the Bearcats.
Let's see who he passes the torch to.
Ooh, and well, with the air there, yeah. Let's see who takes the torch after Stallone graduates soon. But Bearcats leave 23-19. We really need to execute here and put a strong run on while Muftari's still in the back row. Really take advantage of that and make sure that the Beavers can't glimpse on, like keep that little hope alive they can get Muftari in the front row and activate it again.
And we have number 6.
Standing float serve.
Line. Shankar sets
One
it
ball
up
to
for
Higgins.
And
Higgins made an adjustment after he got subbed out and has been absolutely lights out. Bearcats lead 24-19, as we were saying, really taking advantage of Muftari, the player of the year, kind of being handcuffed in the back row, trying to take him out of the game as much as they can.
And Jack Centeno is at the service line for the Bearcats. Nice high swing going middle row to Sharma. Sellis sets it up for Muftari.
D-ball to Muftari.
That one hit off Shankar's face out of bounds. Nothing you can really do about that one.
Well, now Muftari's back in the front row.
And we have Jeffrey Sellis at the service line.
Jump float. Short to Hu. Handled by Shankar. Back ball to Honda Feng. Ooh, and just out.
And this could be set point for the
Bearcats. Set point.
The
Beavers trail by 3 as the Bearcats lead 24-21.
Definitely a much more lead than they had in the last game against the Bearcats.
Back one to Higgins, kept on our side of the net. Bearcats now lead 24-22. And Coach Edwards is looking at the guys saying, hey boys, just keep it simple. We got this. Play our game. Jump float by Sellis, handled by Hu.
Shankar sets it up.
Back to the Fang Han, tipped. Handled by the CCNY Libero. Going to be a back set to Muftari. Roll shot. It looks like the Bearcats were in the net on that block there. Not the ball you can be in a net on there when Muftari takes something off and roll shots. That cannot be the ball you call in the net on. But next point, there's always another point. And it's still set point for the Bearcats as Jeffrey Sellis has ran the Beavers on a serving run.
Shankar sets it up for
out to Hu. Roll shot kept alive. Out to Hu. And Hu finds the court. Bearcats win set 1.
And that's it for set 1, and we'll be right back in set 2.
Set 2. Set 2, folks, are back with a strong serve by Centeno. D-ball to Moftari. Dug by Shankar.
And it's out of bounds for Shankar.
Just out.
The ball just keeps coming to you, Jacob. I think it's just calling.
You know, I was a ball magnet in my career. No matter where I was on the court in practice, somehow the ball found its way to me.
Still doing it.
I think it's the
second ball that went into the broadcast.
The law of relative gravitational pull. Objects of larger mass attract that of lower mass, and my mass is somewhat larger than that of a volleyball, so I think my relative gravitational field is pulling it in.
And it's a 2-0 lead by the Beavers.
And that ball looks like Defang Han tried to go high off hands, just missed it went out. And that's the type of ball the Beavers come down and land and say, hey, I don't jump that high. That couldn't touch me. I'm not that tall. I don't jump that high. I have to play land from that, saying, I didn't touch that.
We have Jeffrey Sellis at the service line. Nice high swing to Goding. Shankar sets it up for Han.
Ooh! That was
Right
detonated by Han Defang.
Right on the line with that one. And Michael Higgins back at the service line for the Bearcats. He's pulled through thus far. Let's see what he's got for us now. And he goes back row off the libero's hands, out of bounds. Just a nice roll off.
And a jump float serve like that's kind of like the volleyball equivalent of a knuckleball. Is there a knuckleball in softball, Gia?
Not
If there
really.
was, if the baseball knuckleball was in the softball, that's the volleyball float serve. So as long as it's tough when you try and take that with your fingers because it moves at the last second, and you miss it.
Spoke too soon and did the broadcasting jinx once again with that server error by Higgins. I just need to stop jinxing us.
And we need to stop talking about the players and just about the volleyball in the booth. 8 back at the line to serve for the Beavers, the freshman from Singapore.
And nice high swing to Goding, and Shankar will set it up for Hu. And it will be too strong for Hu as he goes out of bounds on
Ooh, that
that
ball looks like it was just out of bounds as Hu tried to get high hands off the Moftari block and just missed it. Good set by Shankar there. Looked like the block had sold out to stop down Vaughn, and it had set up a solo block for Hu.
Nice high swing once again to Goding.
Handled by Goding.
Shankar will set it up for Hu once again. Into the net for Hu. He just got a wrong angle on that one and didn't really set it up.
Unforced error on a tough swing there, off the net. Tough. You don't know if you need to keep that ball in and just keep it alive or want to swing aggressive on it. Come down kind of just wanted to focus on the next point and reset.
And that one goes to Centeno.
Handled by Centeno. One ball to Vaughn. Tip handled by the Beavers. Back to the Fang Han. Roll shot handled by Moftari. Little confusion by the Beavers. Roll shot by Moftari. Somehow kept alive.
Nice save by Shankar.
Swung on by Hu.
Once again, number 5, Gaetan, rolled off his hands out of bounds. He really has to keep that one.
It wasn't necessarily pretty volleyball, but it was a good rally. Long plays, lots of swings there.
Nice dives.
And amazing. Don't know how Moftari hit that roll shot. Looks like he didn't even see the ball. Amazing that he even keeps a couple of those plays alive and a lot of good quality volleyball. And, I'm also disappointed. This would be a great championship night match. It's unfortunate the Bearcats have to face the Beavers in the semis. This would be a great championship night matchup. A lot of top-level volleyball being played in the Arc Arena tonight. And a top-level serve by Defang Han there. D-ball, or right side set to Moftari. Tip. Oh, and not over Akil Vaughn's block.
Vaughn said not this time to Moftari as he kept that one out.
They said you can tip around me, but it's too big to tip over me. Big block by Akil Vaughn on the off-speed swing there by Moftari.
Took all of the Beavers by surprise with that one.
That might be the play you come down on there and you look over to your coach and your coach says, hey, just swing. If you're going to get blocked, you might as well be swinging. And that's what probably she would say because Moftari is one of the strongest swingers in the conference. You don't get all conference being a powerful tipper. You get player of the year for the conference being a powerful hitter. And another ball with the gravitational pull into the broadcasting booth. Sorry about screaming in the mic there, folks.
Definitely just keep a tally.
Had to defend the gear, our
If
expensive broadcasting gear.
If it goes up to 10, then they just got to put you back on the team.
Yeah, well, we start billing CCNY for all the balls they're throwing over here. Luckily, we have insurance.
Number 12, once again, to Fang Han at the service line, and he goes middle row to Gaetan.
Oh, and no amount of insurance will protect you from a tough serve by Honda Fang.
No way that was going to be recovered by CCNY.
Almost got ran over by the CCNY coach there. Almost a little spill in the booth, but you got to get out of the player's way. And I'm just happy to play.
You can't move much, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm not very mobile right now on my crutches, and it's not about me today. It's about the boys. I'm letting them pursue the ball, and that's what that play was about.
With the server's run, Han goes middle row once again to Gaetan.
Back set to Naftari. And that's 4. They're going to say that wasn't a block, that ball went into the net, or a double off Naftari, or 4 touches. Take your pick of the call. But I would call that a block.
Han at the service line once again.
Must be his 5th serve in a row here.
Let's not jinx it, Jacob.
It's been a real spark of energy for the Bearcats in the second set. Oh! And speaking of a spark of energy, an ace there for Honda Fang. Bearcats lead 8-5.
And there'll be a timeout, and we'll be right back.
And we're back on stream, folks. CCNY Beavers burned their first time out of the second set to try and chill a Honda Fang service run.
And
but it didn't work, Gia. It didn't work.
Once again, number 5, setting that one out of bounds, unable to recover. He needs to really work on it for the rest of the set if he wants to
exactly.
Up.
That libero is supposed to be the serve receive, the defensive specials of the other team. You can't be getting aced that often in that position. You have to be leading your boys with passing and leading by example.
And he got it this time.
Back set to Naftari. Ooh, Naftari with the tool off the Bearcat block. As the Beavers trail 6-9.
Seems like the coach has had enough with number 5 as she subs them back.
But yeah, the middles in the girls' game, the libero is allowed to serve. In the men's edition of the rules, the libero isn't allowed to serve. It's a real rule change they brought in to try and discourage people from picking their strongest server and putting them at libero.
And now we'll go to Goding, and Shankar will set it up for Vaughn. Celis will set it up for Naftari. He goes back to Shankar, then to Han. Han sets it up for Hu, and a nice swing by Hu. But CCNY somehow recovered it. And the blockers for the Bearcats. Oh, it seemed as if the point went to CCNY on that one.
Apparently it looks like Bearcats, they're calling the Bearcats into the net there. The Bearcats seem to disagree a bit. But when you jump that high, it's so tough. Because when you're jumping as high as some of these Bearcat boys jump, your knees might touch the net, your feet could touch the net, your shins could touch the net. And it might not be the part of your body that you were looking after, like your upper body or your arms with the block. And now Dennis Hugh with the detonation.
Sent number 8 out of the line somewhere on the ground. And they will sub back in number 5, libero Gaetan. And number 1, Wen Chung at the service line for the Bearcats.
Yeah, these young men are leaving it all on the court tonight, hitting the floor. I'm surprised there hasn't been more sweat to get mopped up, and that's a double touch.
Nice block by Vaughn and Centeno on that one, keeping the Beavers out of their court.
And CCNY Beavers will burn their second time out of the second set.
And we'll be right back.
And we're back. The scores table and the referee letting the CCNY coaching staff know they have burned all their timeouts for the second set as the Bearcats serve. And another ace!
Once again, number 5, Gaetan, rolled off the hand as he was unable to recover that one, going out of bounds, making it Baruch's point.
You know, I'm not sure what adjustment Kevin Edwards made in the in between sets, but you have to know there's something he told the guys at the line because they are just lighting up the Beaver serve receive, and you didn't see that in the first set. Free ball sent over. Well, back and forth free ball action here.
Muftari with the swing going to
Roll.
Goding. Shankar sets it up for Centeno, but the Beavers blockers will keep that out of their court. Point Beavers.
And now Muftari's back at the line. If you're the Bearcats here, you want to side out quickly, get him out of serving, and then put your foot on the gas so you can keep him stuck in the back row where he can't block. And it's a little bit of a weaker swing, but relatively speaking, because when you're the conference player of the year, a weaker swing is still stronger than most people's swings.
And that was too strong of a swing as he was unable to locate the court on that one and sent that one out of bounds into the Baruch
And we
bench.
talked about that a bit earlier in the match. With the way that the modern game of volleyball has evolved, when you're serving, some servers go back there, and it's a point or nothing. That's the mentality. You can see Muftari was swinging like that at the line, that, you know, it's either I'm getting an ace or I might hit this ball 20 feet out of bounds. But that's the risk you take when you're putting your strength behind every swing like that.
And there was a
Ball.
nice dig by Chung.
Ooh, looks like a little miscommunication there off the ceiling.
Hard to determine where the Raptors will take the ball in this court at the Arc Arena.
Important here to side out quick and punish the Beavers for having their best player in the back row. As ball served to the Baruch DS. Outside sets Centeno. Ball kept alive by the CCNY libero. D-ball by Muftari, dug by Defang Han. Ball sent over the net. One ball to Higgins, dug by Shankar.
Nice save by Shankar.
D-ball to Defang Han. Dug by Muftari, going to go back to him. Off the Bearcat block.
Chung saves that one.
Dug out of 6.
Bounds.
Another D-ball, set off the block. Outside ball, tip, handled by Defang Han. Outside ball to Centeno. Handled that overpass, come back, right back to Centeno.
Oh, nice save by Higgins.
Seeing a little bit of everything this rally.
And the Beavers won that difficult point as it goes off Goding's hands in out of bounds area. But that was probably the best volley I've seen this season.
Longest rally of the match.
Number 9, Rahul Sharma, middle blocker, outside hitter from Astoria, Queens. Goes to Chung. Shankar tries to drop ball that one, but it was saved by the Beavers. Shankar sets it up for Rodriguez, and he sends that one over the net. Celis sets it up for Muftari. Nice strong
That ball's
swing.
out.
And the refs are saying it's in off the
Apparently that
hands.
ball is off the hands of the Bearcat block. I thought Muftari just got up too big there, but apparently he didn't.
He was right inside that line. It would have been a hard one to determine.
Yeah, it looked like it was out to me, but you know, the ref does have the best view of it, right at his eye level.
And they'll go to Goding on that one, and Shankar will set it up for Higgins as he goes back row to Sharma. Celis will set it up for Gaetan, and Chung will set it up for Shankar, and Higgins with a nice swing, but out of bounds on that one. Point for the Beavers with a 13-12 lead Bearcats, but not very far behind the CCNY leads.
It looked like a couple unforced errors by the Bearcats there, a couple smart swings by the Beavers, and just like that, it's a game again.
And Goding sets that one up for Shankar, and Rodriguez with a nice kill, back row. Nobody on the Beavers was recovering that one.
And that's how he recovered. Looks like Rodriguez wasn't exactly warm on that first swing, but he didn't lose any confidence. He went back up, said, I'm going to be a big man here, get the next point, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's how it is in sports. You could mess up, but that no worry. Once you mess up, you put it in the past, and you focus on the next serve or the next swing or whatever it is.
You play softball, G, you strike out swinging. You go back up swinging the next at-bat.
Exactly.
Ooh, a little bit of a miss hit there, but went off the Baruch block.
Shankar
Back set
sets
to
it
the
up.
thing. Ooh, and just out. That ball is just out by a couple inches.
Very, very close game.
Bearcats cleaning on to a 1-point lead here.
Number 6, freshman from Brooklyn, New York, at the server's line for the Beavers, and he will go to Chung. Chung sets it up for Shankar. Shankar sets it up for Rodriguez. He goes to Celis and somehow gets that one over. Shankar will set it up once again for Rodriguez, and he goes back row.
Free ball sent over by Muftari, handled by Shankar. Bump set by Goding. Ooh, roll by Rodriguez into the net.
Seems like the Bearcats need to make a little adjustments here on the court, as it's tie game now, and they can't afford to lose this set.
Yeah, Bearcats really need to take advantage of it here. Looks like the service has been tight. We just need to side out quickly. This is a standing float serve, which at this level of volleyball is kind of a weak serve to be doing. Ooh, and the ball kept alive. Thank you, Michael Higgins, siding us out there, detonating that ball into number 6 chest. If I'm the trainer, I'm giving a concussion check after that swing.
He seems fine. He's smiling.
Yeah. I'm seeing stars, but he's smiling. You know, that's all you can do after a play. I've been hitting the head more times than I can count. And you just got to smile and say, hey, you know, nice swing. Hit that ball harder next time. Give him a little laugh like that. Tell him, hey, you know, why'd you hit that ball so soft?
Exactly. And then we have Jack Centeno at the service line for the Bearcats. Nice strong swing, middle row to Sharma. Celis gets it over the net.
Michael Higgins
with the dunk over.
Don't know what the Beavers are complaining about there. They sent that ball over to the Bearcats side, and Michael Higgins just said, you sure you want to give me that ball? And Centeno's back, and it looks like Coach Edwards took him out briefly to help him refocus. He's the real heart and soul of the Bearcat team. A lot of pressure put on the freshman, but he handles it night in and night out and came back and now has been, after a brief stint on the bench, 2 really strong serves and a strong dig that's doing everything for the Bearcats. Outside ball to Hu.
And that's off CCNY's hands, out of bounds, off of number 9, Sharma.
I am not sure what the Beavers defenders in 6 are seeing and 5 tonight. It looks like they cannot help themselves but touch balls that are going out. That seems like the 7th ball tonight that the Bearcats waffled out of bounds that the Beavers insisted on touching.
Nice high tap over the net. Celis sets it up, and Hu recovers it, and Shankar goes back to Hu.
It's going to be a D-ball to Muftari. Blocked by, and that's a double with the ball sent over. We'll call that a block by Michael Higgins. And what a great job by Centeno. What maturity it takes and what leadership it takes from a freshman, your first year playing at this level, to be taken out of the game, have a couple bad plays, refocus on the bench, be mature enough to stay checked into the game, come back at the line and have 4 strong serves.
I mean, Centeno has really pulled through this season, but he's only a freshman. So it just makes you think
a bright
what
future
he can
ahead.
do
And
for
maybe I jinxed him there, but you know, as a Bearcat fan, I'm happy he got that first 4. You know, and you can't miss the 5th serve if you don't make the first 4 in.
But
it's a good problem to have.
That ability to get taken out of the game, but to realize what you did wrong and go back and recover all the balls and be able to fix your mistakes is just a big leg up on any student athlete.
Well, you know us Bearcats, we like to get gritty, and that's what Bearcats are all about, having grit, overcoming adversity, and just loving it.
That was a good call by Gaetanes. That was out on the Baruch Bearcats. At least we can see the Beavers now communicating a little bit more than they were in the first.
The first ball they watched go out. I guess that was what the coach told them, was put your hands down. If you keep raising your hands, I'm going to break your fingers. Just kidding. No coach in the CUNYAC would ever threaten their players like that.
Jeffrey Celis. And he goes to Hu. Very, very hard ball to recover on that one. Very hard ball, as it was very close to the net, and in order to keep that ball up, it would have been a carry. So we'll see what the next point has for the Bearcats.
Yeah, a couple tough points there. The Bearcats are saying, hey, let's settle in. We still have a 1-point lead, and let's just play our game. We know what we do good. We're good at some things, and we're very good at those things. So let's just play our game.
Now one goes to Hu. Shankar sets it up for Hu once again.
And what a smart swing off the block by Hu. And when we talk about this emotional and situational maturity, another freshman, semi-championships. He's on the big court, about to go to the dance, makes an error. What's he do? Has another smart swing. Doesn't let it get to him. Doesn't get in his head after one mistake.
That's probably a student athlete's biggest demon, is just letting that play get to you. Because if you let that play get to you, then you're just going to keep messing up the next play and the play after that. You have to just clear your mind and forget it.
Oh, and a great dig by Centeno. And that ball's in. That ball's in.
Nice swing by Hu.
In by a foot. Kill by Hu. And we talk about good senior leadership, amazing senior leadership by the Justin Illahan, the outside hitter, really the utility hitter out of Plainview, New York, has probably played every pin position, even the middle, for the Bearcats in his long career for us. Came in off the bench with a nice serve, nice few serves, and Centeno leaving it all on the floor.
That would have been a hard one to recover because Muhtari's swings are so hard. The blockers, it just shot off the blocker's hands out of bounds.
We got to ask him after the game, what the floor ever do to him? He's hitting it so hard every point. Is Jack mad at the floor? No, I think he's just giving great hustle every point, Gia, and not letting the ball die, and never say never mentality.
He leaves everything on the court, Centeno, and it shows.
Ada's back at the line for the Beavers. Handled
Centeno.
easily by Centeno. Outside ball to Hu. Off the block of Muhtari. Kept alive. Off-speed pipe attack. Handled by Shankar. Bump set to Centeno on the pipe. Swung through the block. Handled.
And Sharma into the broadcasting booth.
And I got a little quiet there. Everyone kind of held their breath, but don't worry. I think our announcer's fine.
He seems fine. He's
We're all
going.
good. The staff table passes the ocular pat down, the visual scan. We're all clear. We're ready to ride.
And we have Defeng Han back at the server's line. And that will be a server's error for Han.
Need to get that serve in, but he's brought so much energy at the line. I think you're okay with that. You say, keep being aggressive.
With a 21-19 lead for the Bearcats. Not too far behind is the Beavers, though. They could still win it this set. Let's find out. And he will go to Centeno on that one. It seemed like there was a lot of miscue on Baruch's end as the point will go for the Beavers.
It's a little mishandling of that play. A little bit of confusion on who's supposed to pass it. Bearcats lead 21-20 in the second set. Really need to take advantage here and get Muhtari out of the front row so they can try and close the set out, and that'll help.
Server's error by number 13, Tenzin Tezpak, middle blocker from Ozone Park.
And you see the camaraderie of student athletes there. Tough play, tough serve deflating, but all the athletes coming together, picking each other up, saying, hey, it's okay, you got the next serve. Type of stuff you love to see.
Exactly. If you don't have good sportsmanship, then that team is not going to be achieving for their season.
Oh, and that's an ace!
Once again, number 5, Gaetan, misjudged that one and let it fly right by him.
That's a tough play. So unless you can get caught as a serve receiver or a defender in volleyball on your heels watching the ball hit the tape of the net. But really, you should be moving forward because the tape of the net just slows the ball down so you have more time to play it. Bearcats point. The setter was back row and went up to joust there. And you know what? You can't do that. You can't do that when you're back row. The setters can be front row next rotation because Muhtari hasn't gotten to the line yet.
And this could be set point for the Bearcats as we have Wen Chung at the service line, and he goes.
And that's an ace! That's an ace! That's an ace! Bearcats win 25-20.
And we'll be back in set 3.
We'll see you soon, folks.
And we're back here in the third set. CCNY Beavers have the ball. Number 2, Jeffrey Sellis at the service line, and he goes to Goding. Then to Shankar, sets it up for Hahn, and a nice kill by Hahn as he goes back row on that one. It will be the Bearcats' point. And now we have number 11, Michael Higgins, at the service line for the Bearcats, as we're rejoined by my co-host, broadcaster, Jacob.
Back in the booth, Bearcats lead 1-0. Somehow pushed through the block. Bearcats are now 1-1 with a smart Moftari tip through the block. Yeah, I get around Baruch a little bit slower now that I'm on crutches. Who would have thought?
I mean, the fastest crutch walk I've seen.
I was pretty quick, right? I've been on these for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you
ran here.
I really, honestly, I think I'm faster on crutches. I might have to stay on them once I'm fully healed.
Nice high swing to Goding. Shankar sets it up for Hahn.
Ooh, and a nice swing by Han Defeng. Getting that ball through the block and said, thank you. I'm going to take that back to the service line now.
Defeng Han is going to take it back to the service line. Let's see what he can do for the Bearcats this set. And he will go middle row to Gaetan, then to Sellis will set it up for Moftari. And he goes to Goding, and Goding fumbles that one, and it will be Beavers' point.
It looks like Moftari sent a little change up there, and Goding was expecting the fastball. Wasn't ready for that off-speed shot. Caught him a little early.
I'm pretty sure he realized his mistake once it happened, though. Now he knows for the next time.
Well, there's tons of points in the volleyball game. You have a lot of opportunities to make up for it and make that adjustment.
Number 13, Tenzin Tezpak, middle blocker from Ozone Park at the service line. He goes to Centeno. Shankar sets it up for Vaughn. And that will be Baruch's point.
Yeah, it looks like the Beaver attacker might have strained something in his neck on that swing and kind of flailed his arm into the net. I hope he's okay. I might have the training staff check on him. Looks like the refs are a little concerned about him.
Seems like he's fine.
It's so important before you play a game of any sport, really, just to fully stretch out your body, really activate every muscle group, so you'd be surprised what little parts of your body twitch. And Julia Moftari faked out the crowd, pretending like he was going to pass it there. He learned that play from Baruch College legend Nicholas Godino, who used to always follow balls back to the back line of the court and then just smile at the other team and stick his tongue out. Moftari, one of the best servers in the conference and probably Division III, maybe even Division I, I'd go as far to say that.
I think you spoke too soon, Jacob.
I might have spoke too soon. I'm surprised he didn't put a hole through the net with that one, Gia. That was a
strong.
Heavy serve.
It was a very strong serve, but not at the right angle.
Digging a Moftari serve will put some hair on your chest. We faced him in the 2019 CUNYAC Semifinals at Hunter College, and his serve was taking the sound out of the gym. People were oohing and ahhing. People had never seen someone swing a ball so hard.
He'd be a good pitcher.
He would.
He has the strength, he has the height.
A lot of people say serving in volleyball is a lot like pitching in softball.
In softball or baseball, Jacob?
I love every sport.
Two different types of pitches. Shankar will set it up for
Ooh, with the combination of Centeno running the 2-ball out the middle. Off the CCNY Beaver block. Ooh.
Once again, with that strong swing, Moftari gets the point for the Beavers.
The Bearcats just need to be a little bit lower and ready in their position when they're on the court and ready to move. Sometimes you catch yourself watching the game. That's what happens there for the Bearcats. They were watching the game, not playing the game.
Sharma at the service line. He goes to Chung. Shankar will set it up for it'll be Beavers' point.
Yeah, Beavers are up 6-2 there. Looks like they might have called a double or a carry on Sloan, but it seems like the set wasn't his best anyway. I'm not sure Centeno was even going to be able to keep it alive, so it seems like no matter what, that point wasn't going our way. And the float serve to Goding.
Shankar sets it up for Centeno. The blockers on CCNY were unable to keep that one out. Moftari with the swing.
And that's out.
As he hits the assistant coach on Baruchson.
You know, that's the play. If you're Centeno, you look back and smile through the net, say, I don't jump that high. I'm not that tall. But you can see there, the Bearcats have made an adjustment on when they're blocking Moftari. They're staying low. They're waiting. They're jumping at the last second to not give him a block to swing his hand, to not give him hands to swing that ball off of.
Nice swing and kill by Jack Centeno as he goes to Sharma, who was really not expecting that one.
I don't know who Jack Centeno likes getting set more by, Stallone Shankar, Ryan Uman, or the Beavers serve receive. Speaking of one of Centeno's favorite setters, Shankar at the line, takes something off the serve. Beavers handle it, outside ball. Ooh, look at the Bearcats defense. Didn't quite adjust to a solo block being up there, and a nice deep swing by the Beavers there. And the serving sub is in now for the Beavers, number 6. Bearcats are trailing by a point here. They need to execute on one of the easier serves on the Beaver team, a standing float, which you really don't see that much at this level. Shankar and Centeno got caught up a bit, but still executed.
Michael Higgins with the kill.
You know, Centeno and Shankar are playing a little bit of happy feet there. Centeno still got his feet to the pass. Shankar got his feet to the set, and Higgins got the kill.
Centeno at the service line for the Bearcats once again with a tie game.
The Fairlawn Cutter alumni out of New Jersey.
He goes to number 8. Sellis sets it up for Muftari.
Oh! Michael Higgins! And the Bearcats now lead 8-7. You know,
just like Centeno, Higgins is still technically a freshman for the volleyball team.
Oh, and Muftari might be outside the court. The refs don't see it, so I guess it won't get called, but you can't start outside of the court. And an ace from Centeno. Is there anything the freshman can't do? He hits the court on the defense. He serves well, hits well, blocks well, and you know what? He's only a freshman. It's like, are you basketball fans what they're saying about Jason Tatum for a while? He's only 19. He's only 19. Jack Centeno is only 19.
And he will go to Gaetan, back row. Sharma will keep it alive.
And that's off the Raptors. That's an ace. Another ace. Da-da-da, da-da-da. 3 in a row is a turkey.
You know, due to the and we are on a timeout. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Set 3, CUNYAC semifinal action from the Arc Arena. Winner go home.
Jack Centeno goes back row. Sellis will set it up for Chand.
No, that ball, that's not a, no, yeah. You know, you either like the call or you don't. There's typically not an in-between. Listen, the Bearcats didn't like that call there, but, you know, they're going to have to answer for it with some good volleyball on the next point. And that's just what you do.
Bearcats are an amazing team at bringing their back in.
You know, that's exactly what happens. You didn't like what happened the play before, didn't like the call, didn't like the set, didn't like the serve, didn't like the pass. Okay, be better the next point, and that's what the Bearcats did.
Higgins at the service line. He will go back row to Chand. Sellis will set it up Oh,
And that's the Bearcats' point. Might have been a double, but what we're calling is that the ball went over the net, but hit the ceiling when it went over the net.
yeah.
And as they've done all night, CCNY is going to burn their final timeout, really getting their money's worth out of the 2-timeout limit.
And we'll be right back, Jacob. And welcome back. We're back from the second break on the Beavers' end, and it's 12-8 Bearcats with number 11, Michael Higgins, at the service line.
And while we were gone, the CCNY coaching staff was informed that they had burned all their timeouts of the third set. Nice Bearcat block. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Unforced error Muftari. You don't see that very often. I know that's a ball he wishes he had back. He's the type of player that doesn't make those mistakes. Very rare to have that happen, and if you're the Bearcats, you have to take advantage of when that does happen. Higgins at the line and a nice strong serve. The first time up, and continuing the theme of playing balls that were going out. That looks like that ball might have been going out, but the serve receive for the Beavers didn't say anything and played it anyway.
Nice setup by Shankar and a nice kill by Hu as they find that empty in the middle court.
And Dennis Hu is having one of the strongest matches of the season. You know what? Right when you want him to, right when it matters most. Talk about peaking at the right time. Showing up for your boys when they need you the most. Have the night of his life in the semifinal match. Muftari is set up and out of bounds. Looks like he went a little bit too sharp of an angle there. Didn't quite get the snap on the ball. Came out kind of flat. Bearcat points as they now pull ahead to one of their larger leads of the night, 15-8.
Yeah, the Bearcats are trailing right now.
The Beavers are trailing right now. As the Bearcats lead 15-8.
My mistake, Jacob.
Outside ball to Hu, and he can't be stopped. He can't be stopped. You know, the Chinese economy is growing every year. One of their main exports are kills for the Baruch College Bearcats.
Sellis will set it up for Muftari, and he will go out of bounds on that one. Strong swing as usual, but out of bounds.
Well, that's a point CCNY. And the Beavers got the point, but are still complaining about it, as the ref called that there was the touch. Wasn't enough for the bench of CCNY, though, as they're
We have a nice turnout.
yeah,
CCNY
great
Beavers.
turnout. The CUNYAC Volleyball Finals are always well attended. People often think of New York City as a basketball city, but there's also a huge volleyball community who comes out in force and in numbers for games like this. Well, you know, sometimes like everything can go your way and you're still mad, and that's what looks like the Beavers were had there. They complained for the point, they got it, it was the right call, and they're still upset. I don't know what there's to be upset about, Gia.
I mean, they may be upset.
Maybe they're upset that they're trailing 9-16. That seems what it is.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to say it, but.
As we say in the industry, ball doesn't lie, you know?
Yeah, in order to catch up, they're going to have to really light a fire in them to get those points because it's 17-9 as of right now. And we have Jack Centeno at the service
Oh, well,
side.
you know, He might just do 8 straight right here, Gia.
I mean, oh, my mistake.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
Ryan
it's not
Uman.
Centeno at the service line. Looks like Centeno is in position 5. It's Ryan Uman at the service line.
Sellis will set it up for Muftari, and he will
Oh,
go to
dug by Uman, one-handed.
Goading will set it up for Centeno, and he will
Off
go
the
to
wall.
Sellis with a nice dig dive.
Free ball, a little miscommunication. Falls over the net, dug by Vaughn. Outside ball to Hu. Tipped over the block and just out of bounds. Just out of bounds. You know, it's funny. When the calls go their way, they're not complaining too much.
And we have number 13, Tenzin Tezpak, middle blocker.
This will be a make or break rotation here for the Beavers as their best hitter is still in the front row. And maybe for the last time this match, they really need to stay at the service line.
And Vaughn with the kill!
Not if Akil Vaughn has anything to say about it. Thank you, Akil. The transfer from York College, an amazing athlete. There's nothing he can't do.
I bet York College was pretty upset when Vaughn versed them on the Arc Arena
And I'm sure,
court.
you know, and not only the York College volleyball team is missing Akil Vaughn, also the York College basketball team. He was a multi-sport athlete over there.
Jack of all trades. Now we'll go to Gaetan. Seems as if Sellis may have went into the net.
And that was the Beavers got the block, but the blocker was in the back row. And you notice that he's smiling, saying, good call, refs. The setter is in rotation 5 here, and when you're in 5, you're still in the back row and you can't block. And he went up to try and block Centeno's swing.
Chung will go back row on that one. Sellis
Handled by
will
the
try
setter.
to recover it. Sharma with the kill. That will be the Beavers' point.
And the man of the hour, the CUNYAC MVP, the man of the night, Julio Moftari back at the line.
This may be his last chance to redeem himself.
If you're the Beavers, maybe you still want him in the front row, but also you have your best server at the line. This is the chance you have to go on a run.
He has the strength, but he has a little hard time locating it at the service line. Like I just said, he went right into the net on that one. Nice, strong swing, but not a good location.
And if there's another one of him going to the net tonight, I think the net might break. He is putting the ball with some pace behind
Burn
it.
a little hole in the net.
Yeah, he is not, I'll tell you this much, might not be able to pick it up in the live stream, but he is not serving that ball lightly, and I'm sure it looks that way too. D-ball to
Sellis
Moftari,
is set up.
free ball sent over, handled by Ubongwa, overpassed,
And nobody was there to recover that one on the Bearcats' end.
and killed by the Beavers.
It's fine because the Bearcats have a nice cushion on the score right now. So just let's not keep it up for the Beavers. We'll kind of block it out eventually, hopefully.
As Sharma's back at the line for the Beavers.
Now
Handled
we'll
by Godding. Back set to Ubongwa. Tipped over. Handled by the libero for CCNY. D-ball to Julio Moftari. Looks like it was a little bit low for him. Handled by the Bearcats defense. Outside ball to Centeno. And it's off the hands. They're touching everything tonight.
That one went to you. I think that's another one for the tally, Jacob.
I'm not sure what it is. The big lights, a different gym, a hostile crowd, but the Beavers need to communicate a little bit better on defense. It seems like no one's calling my ball, your ball, or in or out, and it leads to confusing plays like that where you touch a ball that might have been going out.
It's one of the biggest factors to have on any team is just team bonding, team communication.
Can't win on championship night if you don't have good team chemistry or communication. It's essential.
And like we said in the past, Jacob, you know, the Baruch Bearcats are, when I see them at school, they're always in a group huddle together. They're I never see them by themselves. They're always constantly together.
It looks like the Beaver attacker was staring down the Bearcats after that swing and he got the point, but he really should be staring down the subway signs so he can get home quickly after this match.
A little bit of a burn, Jacob. No chill, huh?
Well, you know, don't disrespect the boys when you're losing 21-13. That's all I'm saying, Gia.
Shane Carl
We can all be here, be respectful, and cheer for each other.
And Baruch's blockers.
Yeah.
They had a nice block, but the refs are saying it'll be the Beavers'
And
point.
Bearcats seemed a little bit confused by it. Looked at the ref and said, who did that? But then one of the Bearcats tapped their chest, looked at their teammate, and kind of made a little sly face and said, hey, that was me. Don't raise your voice. I was in the net. Beavers' point.
No harm, no foul. It's still a 21-14 lead by the Bearcats.
Yeah. And the Beavers fans are trying to keep CCNY in it.
And that's way out on the Beavers'
And
end.
maybe the extra noise from the stands increased the air pressure in the room a bit, made that ball float more out. I'm not a physicist, but it could have happened.
It's possible.
And now
Anything's
third
possible
set,
in the Arc Arena, Jacob.
winner go home. CUNYAC semifinals. Bearcats are up 22-14.
And like we were talking about in the past, you know, Centeno's a freshman for the Bearcats. Stallone Shankara will be heading out shortly, unfortunately, for the Bearcats. But if you look at the rest of the roster, majority, due to the pandemic, are freshmen. So they have so much potential to continue to grow throughout the next years.
A little bit of a changing of the guard, if you will. Out with the old, in with the new. And it's their time to shine. Oh, and who is getting some action right now, another freshman. I think our stream views from the mountain time zone have spiked with Alexander Howard coming into the court. The freshman middle hitter from Peyton, Colorado, and the Vanguard High School.
We have Jeffrey Sellis at the service line for the Beavers.
Always amazing to see what athletes end up picking the CUNYAC conference. CCNY, you have Julio Maftari from Albania. On the Bearcats, you have that kill, courtesy of Dennis Hu from Guangdong, China on the previous swing, courtesy of Alexander Howard from Peyton, Colorado. You know, we're the City of New York Conference, but we're really so global.
And as we were saying before during one of the breaks, Jacob, you know, many of the teams in these conferences have that one player that stand out and pull through for their team and that stands out tremendously. But when you look at the Bearcats, it's almost their whole lineup that stands out.
It's a next man up mentality. If you're having an off game, I'll have a better game to pick you up. And that's exactly what you have to be as a team. You can't function. Would you rather have one person playing great and 5 poorly, or 6 people playing good?
Exactly. I mean, that's any team's dream, is to have them all play great. But even if one of them is having a bad day, the next one steps up and says, I got you on this day, and I know you'll get me on the next day when I'm having a bad day.
There's 9 girls on the diamond, as we like to say in softball.
Yep. And it happens there, too. And that's a nice kill, once again, by the Bearcats, and this will be set point.
Match point, game point. Could be the last serve
See what happens.
of our semifinal matchup tonight, as the Bearcats lead 24-16 in the third set. Honda Fang's back in the line. He's had a lot of aces thus far. Looks like CCNY is trying to find every excuse to not let him serve, but eventually they're going to have to.
We're getting a really strong and loud crowd go right now, strongest I've seen, even at Basketball Battle of Lex. That will be a server's error for Han, but no worries once again because they still are.
Yeah, that might be the last point of the season for the Beavers, so you have to celebrate it.
They'll give them a few more chances, a few more plays on the court.
And now, I mean, if you're CCNY, this is the make or break spot. You have your best hitter, Maftari, in the front row. If there's any rotation where you think you can string together 8 or 9 points, this is it.
Akil Vaughn with that kill, but it was blocked by the Beavers.
And you know, that ball went over, but after the 4th touch, and you're only allowed 3 in volleyball, unless that first touch comes off the block, then you're allowed 4. And that's an out of rotation that might be, they already subbed them back in before the point. That might be an out of rotation for the Bearcats to win on a technicality. That might be an out of rotation on a card on a technicality.
That would suck for the Beavers.
That would. It's not a way you want to see the game end, but that should be an out of rotation because they missed libero, but we're going to give them a mulligan there on the libero switch that they missed up for a point. Love it. Let the boys play.
Oh, Sella says, this is not over.
And now it's over. Now it's over. That's why you let the boys play.
Set point, game point, match point. It is done for the semifinals here at the Arc Arena.
And, you know, tomorrow night, for the first time ever, the only match of the night will be the CUNYAC Finals. We're changing up the tournament, and the Bearcats will take on the victor of either between Hunter and John Jay, which is going on right now. We hope to see you there in the Arc Arena. Thank you for tuning in all season, and we look forward to hearing you and listening to you in the women's volleyball season.
Hopefully. We'll see, Jacob. Maybe you'll see us both there. Who knows?
You want to sign us out for one last time?
All right, no problem. Have a nice night, New York City.